Hello, everybody. Look who I have here. Joshua Morrow and crew Morrow. Thank you guys for being here. You're actually sitting next to each other, which is an interesting thing for me to see. Amazing. Amazing. First of all, crew, you have to tell me, I've known your dad for many, many years. We've talked many times. He has amazing things to say about you, but he was talking to me about how you knew what you wanted to do with this. You knew you wanted to kind of you made a decision what you wanted to go for and you went for it. Is that kind of how this all played out, that you ended up going into acting and then landed on B&B, and it sounded like you just kind of were doing your thing? And
yeah, I mean, basically, I've had every hobby under the sun, So
that is true. Let me tell you.
So I think they kind of just I don't think they took me very seriously. But eventually they saw that I was passionate about it. I dropped out of school for it, and here we are today.
Now, did you watch your dad on Y&R at all through the years, or
No, really, I did. I just didn't. Not to say that I shouldn't have, but it just I probably saw him more on magazines than I did on the screen.
But have you watched him now?
I watch him now. Yeah, when he's on, because he's on before me, so I'll watch him now.
Yeah. Do you think he's any good?
He's okay.
I can't even ground him now. He's 19. So, wow.
No, I got my swag from someplace. It came from him.
You got your swag. It's like I'm watching the two Morrow. We're all having kind of flashbacks to when Joshua started on Y&R. And Josh, you started at 20 when you were on air, right? But got the role at 19.
Yep.
And crew, you're at 19. So is that not do you guys not think that's
it's crazy?
It's crazy. I mean, it's almost a year. I mean, 30 years to almost the day, it seems like, of these, careers starting. And, I pinch myself. I still kind of can't believe I'm still doing this. And I just remember how unbelievably exciting it was and momentous in my life to get a job of this, quality. And I'm just so excited for the journey that he's about to go on, because I know what this is like. It is an amazing, fun roller coaster of good times. And, I'm sort of envious that he gets to start it all over again, because it was such an awesome journey. But really excited for him. Very, very, very proud of him.
So do you guys just do your own thing, do your own scenes? Do you ever act the other parts to help each other out in your scripts, or you're just kind of doing your own thing?
I can't say that we do, but he definitely offers advice. That's for sure. He'll watch back my scenes.
I've seen some of his stuff, and I get, of all my children, he's the least of them to sort of search me out looking for advice or what. He's just always been his own man. He wants to do his own thing. And, I'm very careful with him. I don't want to sort of, put myself too much in this journey of his, because it's his career and it's his choices. He got this job on his own. So if he wants my help, I'm quick to give it, but I'm not going to sort of inject myself into his thing, and as far as running our scenes or whatever, I'm traditionally sort of, I do that on my own. I don't really run lines. Not that I, if somebody asks me, I always do it, but I'm not searching people out to learn or to sort of figure out what I want to do. I kind of do my own thing. And I think he's sort of got his similar, he does that himself.
Yeah.
Now, crew, what happened when you met Heather Tom, who then is actually played Joshua's sister on Y&R?
Yeah. Yeah. I just she it wasn't crazy for me because I didn't know the history, but of course, like you said, she worked with my dad when he was my age, so it was very surreal for her. It's great. Heather's great. So glad she's my mom.
Yeah. Now, what about John Diamont? Are you glad that he's your dad on the show?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, same case because Diamont also worked with my dad, so same case.
You know, your dad was in the storyline, the Reliquary storyline with John. You have to look this up, Drew.
Okay,
Look this story up.
give me
This-
the log line. What is it about?
I think Joshua should explain.
Okay.
It was, yeah. I don't know if we have time, but the short version is some of our characters were looking for something to the equivalent of like the lost ark, and like this art thing,
Yeah.
that had significant wealth and power, and all of a sudden some of our characters were like art. I don't know, dude. It was crazy thing I've ever seen in my life. Out of
It was a stolen
nowhere.
art thing, and then Victoria, like all of a sudden, was this artist, and she was able
Yeah.
to recreate this, and then John Diamont was playing. Well, Brad was George Kaplan, or
Yeah,
right?
out of nowhere he became this like elite Navy, like Israeli Navy SEAL killer man, and was killing people and had guns. It was his dream role. It was just the most ridiculous thing. But I will say, it's still the most fun I've ever had on the show.
But it was laughed.
It's the most laughing I've ever done in my life, bar none. Watching Amelia and us having to deal with this art thing, and then watching Diamont always with a gun and so intense, dude. It was crazy. He literally killed a man by squeezing him to death with his legs. And and then he added this military role to come up with like a gun or something, and literally broke his shoulder on it. Like broke his shoulder.
Oh, for real? He broke his shoulder?
Broke his shoulder in real life doing
You'll
it.
have to talk to Don about that, Crew, when you have to bring it up.
Just the most, it gives us joy talking about it when we bring it up. We treat it with reverence because it's just incredible.
It's like Wackastewerline.
Yeah.
So since you've been on Bold and Beautiful, Crew, what has it been like? Are there nerves anymore? Like, are you like good? Will you go in, or do you still feel like I'm a newbie here in comparison, or do you feel like you've got it under control and you're not thrown?
Yeah, I think practice makes perfect, right? I still get nervous before scenes, though, for sure, especially scenes that matter. I'm never not gonna worry about those scenes because I always want to do a good job. But I find that the more I do it, the more comfortable I get, and the closer I get with the people that I do it with. We're like a big family. So that's probably my favorite part of the job.
Now, you know that your dad's character, Nick, he had a way with the ladies, on the show. And now,
What do you mean?
And now you have a love story going on.
Oh yeah, man! I need to put some muscle on.
Yeah, man.
Look like a toothpick.
Yeah, you're looking skinny.
Good Lord.
So how is it working with your love interest, Linnea, on the show? And has it been hard to do? Like, are those scenes hard to do? To like play the love story as opposed to like other drama for you?
No. Linnea makes it easy. She's like such a professional actress. She's just a pro. So no, those scenes come easy, I think. And yeah, she's a sweetheart. I like scenes with her.
Mm-hmm. And Josh, do you give him any tips for love stories?
I talked to him early on about that because there's obviously this mythical thing of chemistry, and and it's love stories are interesting because not everybody is supposed to be with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like when characters find that magical thing that really makes them pop, it's incumbent upon the portrayers to, and I've told him this exactly, is to let that person in. There can't be any walls or anything. You have to literally let them into your being. And so that's how you portray falling in love. So you know, I talked to him about that, you know, very briefly, again, only if he asks. And, you know, because there's really nothing more exciting to fans than like a really, really great love story. And they're fun to tell. Falling in love is a great story to tell from an actor standpoint. And, you know, it can be really, really cool if the two people let each other in and can really sell it.
There was that moment, crew, where, you know, when he first meets Electra, doesn't he pick up the ring off the floor? Like, there's the whole thing in the eyes twinkle they did. I mean, they set it up.
Yeah.
They set it up like.
It's funny you say that. I saw that thing and I sent it to crew and I said, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that moment right there is what audiences will eat up, dude. And it was, I thought he and that young lady did it perfectly.
Now, it was just announced that you are going to be playing in the movie Wild Cards.
Yes.
And it sounds like an amazing role.
It was a fantastic role.
Yeah. What can you just tell us a little bit about the role? Because, you know, we just read online about it, but I thought this sounds like a great role for you to play.
Yeah, it really was. What an excellent cast of actors that was on that shoot. You know, I'm going to butcher the log line, but it's a commentary on, you know, the system, justice, and race. So there's a lot of very serious issues in play. And you're not going to like my character, but you will like the story.
That's what we all want to play.
Right.
Yeah.
But aren't you the guy that's up? Aren't you in the court case?
Yeah, I'm on trial. I'm on trial for a crime. And yeah, you're just going to have to find out. I'm definitely not likable.
Okay. And do you like playing the not likable as opposed to the likable guy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the villain is always fun.
Joshua's not played the villain.
No, we talk about it a lot too.
He's never gotten the chance. They've kept him like the good guy.
Yeah, he's the golden boy.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. So jealous.
Now, you haven't seen the movie yet.
No.
Right. Yeah. So, Josh, on Y&R for a moment, you and Sharon, you kind of came to her rescue and you're trying to help figure out what's going on with her.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you like the fact that he had a clue? Like he wasn't being completely, oh, sure, she murdered, you know.
I like that he, you know, whether it's Sharon or Phyllis, he's very quick to defend them to anyone. Like he wants to, you know, no matter where these three people are in their lives, Nick always defends them to anyone. I mean, you know, obviously this is on a much bigger scale with, you know, Ian Ward and Jordan and all that. But even if just they're being attacked verbally by other characters, he always defends them. And that's who he is at his core. So he's going to defend Sharon until somebody proves to him that without a shadow of a doubt that she did these things that she confessed to, because he just doesn't buy that this is something that she could ever possibly do, despite the, you know, mountains of, you know, evidence against her, the fact that she's confessing. It doesn't look great, but I like that Nick is, you know, is going to stand by her until the very end.
Mm-hmm. And now, crew, you got Remy is come into the picture here.
I love that look on Crew's face. Look at that.
I don't like
dynamic.
I don't like him.
Yeah. You already know, you already like smell a rat. Is he already like on to him?
I'm on to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
He's up to no good.
Yeah. And how is working with Christian Weisman?
Great. Yeah, great. I just saw him the other weekend for a party. Great dude. Really glad he's on the show. And I'm glad that they have like a new crop, or not a new crop, but just, well, yeah, a new crop of younger actors. It's like me, Lisa, Linnea, and now Christian. It's coming together and it's fun. I'm excited.
Well, do you remember when you were in jail, Josh?
That's a money shot right there. You need to get
money shot. I'm showing you, crew, the past like years ago on YNR.
There we go. Look at that. We called that Pretty Boy Prison.
Pretty Boy.
Yeah, you're giving your best Blue Steel right
yeah,
there.
Dude, even all the prisoners look like models. It was like it was the prettiest prison I've ever seen in my life.
It was pretty prison. And then look at this, Usher. Do you remember this?
I remember that very well.
Oh my God, you look so much like Coop in that.
I know. Look, wearing a Quality Concrete. That's
my God.
That's my my wife's dad's company, Quality Concrete. Look at that. And that's look awesome. At young Usher. I remember that so clearly. I remember meeting that kid.
And do you remember that he was going to be going to be a big star?
I mean, at the time, I think he was just up and like he was just getting, but I remember meeting him because I tell everybody, I was like, yeah, I met Usher before he was Usher, really.
So do you think you look like your dad?
Well, like you heard me just say, I thought he looked so much like Coop in that, my older brother.
Your older brother.
Yeah, he looks so much like Coop in that.
Now, do your other brothers think it's cool that you're on the soap? Or what's their take on it?
Yeah, they think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're brothers on TV, man. I mean, and he, out of nowhere said, I'm going to be an actor. And everyone sort of looked at him like, what are you going to do? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I remember saying, it's not that easy. And dude got a job right out of the chute. So, it's the whole family. My dad, I mean, his all his grandparents, they're so excited for him. It's a really cool accomplishment at 19 years old.
It's amazing.
You know, what's funny is when the props department were asking me for photos for the Spencer mantle, they had me shoot a couple of photos when I was younger in there, and I snuck a photo of my little brother Cash in there. So for a little while, Cash was on the mantle.
Did they get rid of it?
They got rid of it. I mean, they substitute, so maybe it'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what does Toby think of all this? How is Mom? Is she
She's my biggest fan. She's my favorite fan. She always watches my stuff.
I mean, wow.
So does she watch the stuff and give criticism, or is she just loving it?
She just loves it. She's just, like I said, my favorite fan. Sorry, I'm a mama's boy, Dad. Okay, like Will, like Will.
No, I get it.
Mama's boy, right? He's a mama's boy. Will's a mama's boy.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, she watches it, and she it's great. We haven't caught ourselves up, so we're probably gonna have to do some watching here pretty soon.
So Frida's asking, will there be a crossover episode between the shows so that the father and son can act together sometime in the future?
So I was in Monaco this summer with Brad, and I was pushing that hard, and I'm like, dude, because actually, let's rewind a little. I was pressing Josh Griffith to age Christian with this guy. And Josh was like, maybe we're not ready for that. And I'm like, well, somebody else is going to hire him. And he's like, I don't know. We're not ready for that. And then B&B snatched him up. That was before Monaco. Then I saw Brad in Monaco. We were hanging out, having some drinks. I'm like, bro, you've got to have a crossover. We do it all the time. I want to work with my kid. He goes, oh, yeah, it's a great idea. We'll make it happen. Yeah. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. But Brad seemed to think it would be a good idea.
Are you down? You're down for that crew, right?
Oh my God, that would be a dream. I would love to do that. Whether I go to Genoa or he comes over to Los Angeles.
I want to go to Los Angeles.
I think we need to have Nick go to Los Angeles.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, in the building, he's got all the models around.
It would make more sense.
Catherine Kelly Lang, and wasn't there Brooke and Catherine Kelly Lang?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ladies on the Bold and the Beautiful that have yet to jump on the Nick train. I mean, come on, let's go.
Endless opportunities. Endless.
Yeah. Now, here's a question. Hey, Josh and crew, which of your daddies is richer, Victor or Dollar Bill?
I'm gonna say Dollar Bill because I mean his nickname is Dollar Bill. Pretty sure he's a billionaire. I'm genuinely serious. I think he's a billionaire. So I'm gonna say Dollar Bill.
I'm also confident that the Victor Newman is like one of the wealthiest people in the pretend universe. So
the universe.
I mean, yeah,
I think Victor's
I don't know. Because I only know Dollar Bill, so I don't know. Maybe Victor is. Is that?
I'm gonna say Victor, and that could be biased, but I think Victor Newman is sort of universally accepted as being like one of the wealthiest men on the planet.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Now, has Eric met Crew?
Oh,
Of
yes.
course, yes.
What a great man, right? The best. The
yeah,
best.
the greatest. I just had him sign. I'm such a huge Planet of the Apes nerd, and he was in the third installment of the old series. And I had him sign a poster not too recently ago. Oh man, it's great. Some of my favorite movies ever.
So Eric met him, Josh, and what did he give?
Oh, he's such a fan of Crew's because, you know, before all of this, another one of Crew's passions was MMA fighting, and Crew is training to be an MMA fighter. And so that's speaking Eric's language. He talked to, you know, at great length. He wanted to know everything about his training and, you know, all his disciplines he was learning. So he asked me long before Crew got on, like almost monthly, like, what's Crew's doing? How's his training? Who's he studying with? That, you know, and then obviously Crew pivoted from that into something else. But if you want Eric's respect, let him know that you are a grappler or scrapper of some kind, and he's instantly filled with respect for you.
Yeah.
Now, Crew, didn't you design hoodies?
I did, yeah.
Wasn't that was that Ukraine?
Another hobby. Yeah.
I got your whole thing.
Yeah. So I did the first batch of hoodies was for COVID, and then the second batch was for the cause in Ukraine.
And you designed them and then kind of marketed them and put them out, right? And people could, but you're not doing that anymore because you're on the Bold and Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
busy
days, but that chapter is definitely not closed. I'm sure I'll come out with another line of apparel for another cause that speaks to me.
Josh, do you think you would, if you guys had, let me ask you, Crew, would you go to Joshua if you had a very challenging script and you were having trouble with it?
No, probably not.
He's so obvious. He's honest.
Yeah.
He is. He's honest.
That's who he is. Like I would have answered that before he did if you had asked me. He's just, since he's come out of the womb, he's just a fascinating human. We called him the question machine when he was young because he's just the most inquisitive. He's got varied interests. I mean, he's like this surfing, motorcycle riding warrior poet guy. I mean, he's got varied interests, and he's picked his own path. He's going to do it his way. He's been that way since he was born. Obviously I'm always here for him. He knows that, but I know for a fact that he's not going to come to me for something along those lines unless he's in real trouble. And I don't think he'll ever be in that place.
So you've done several films, Crew, right? I think you've done several of them. Do you enjoy that as much as the soaps, or do you think it's just different because
it's just so wildly different? And I mean, I love doing films just because it's like you only get so much time with these guys, these cast, the directors, and it's just like a magical concoction, and you never know what's going to happen the day of, and it's so fun shooting on site. It's just great. I love doing films.
Josh, you probably never thought he would, or maybe you did. Did you think he'd be in films as well as television, or what did you envision for him?
Just based on, he's a writer. He's written multiple scripts.
That's right. I knew that too.
Just knowing who he is. And I don't mean to upset the B&B fans. I don't see him being on the Bold and the Beautiful for, like what I've done. He has huge dreams and goals. Like I said, his interests are many. So I don't doubt for 1 second that this is just, the beginning of an incredible journey for him. And like everyone else, I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
Crew, when you're on Bold and Beautiful and you're doing scenes, you're watching, are there people on the show that you're like, oh my God, these guys are amazing? Like, are there some that you look up to as actors and go, hey?
Yeah, HT rings a bell. Jacqueline, fantastic.
Dennis Wood. Oh yeah.
Can we
So
talk
good.
about Jackie? Actually, what's her
You
story?
better watch it if he comes over to Los Angeles, Nick Newman.
Maybe I should talk to Jackie.
Will Spencer might have a chat first. No, I'm just kidding.
Heather and Jackie are powerhouses. Yes, definitely.
They're so fierce. I wouldn't want to dance with them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dollar Bill Spencer, Don Diamont. He knows his shit. That's for sure. Scott's so fun to do scenes with. I'm like a sponge with it. He's so good at like improvising on the spot and making things fun for everyone, like making them just fun, like we're laughing. So that's a gift that he has. But everyone has their things that they bring to the table, and everyone's got tools,
Joshua, is there people that you still have the best time with? Is it still Amelia? Is she isn't it Amelia?
She's a sparkly unicorn of a human. I mean, she's everybody's favorite person at work, and rightly so. She's got an incredible spirit. She's just a sweetheart. I would slay dragons for her. She's one of my very best friends in the world, and her husband is my homeboy. She's just an incredible person, and I love being around her. We make each other laugh. Our show's filled with great, amazing, talented people, and Amelia is just right there for me as far as her personality, just like she is for everybody else. She's just an awesome, awesome gal.
Teresa says, I heard that Josh cracks up and has people laughing, that he turns around and does a serious scene. You crack up and then turn around and do a serious scene.
I mean, it's sort of my thing. I like to keep my set loose. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get you done in one take, but in between those times, we're gonna have some laughs. We're in a very serious medium, but I like to make people laugh and feel comfortable and just make things easy. And I know when you can't do that. Obviously, if we're having dramatic scenes and people got to get to places, but if it's not anything that requires some heavy lifting, we're gonna have a good time while I'm out there.
I mean, crew, what do you think about the fact that Dad's been on the show for over 30 years? Like, incredible. Like, who has that kind of run? It's insane.
No, seriously. I mean, he's the MJ of the soaps.
Yeah,
he is, and
he's the MVP. He's the MVP. Yeah.
Okay, back to that. What's Jackie's deal?
But it's wild, right, crew? It's like 30 years of the same, like.
Yeah, 30 years, still just kicking ass, and my personal hero. So it's awesome to see this. And what's so great about this is that he got to do what he loves for 30 years, and he also got to be the greatest father on the planet Earth. I never had a baseball game, a soccer game, a football game that he wasn't there for, if not coaching. You know what I mean? And it's just the fact that he was able to do that and balance both work and family is truly commendable. And I hope I can have the same things for my son.
Yeah, he's been amazing. He loves his sons. I've known him for all these years. They were always the big priority for him.
Yeah.
Always. He loved his boys, and he was always there for everything he tried to be, or was, for everything he did.
Yeah.
And was
3 of them.
I know. I've lived a very, very blessed life. My dream was to be a dad and have a bunch of boys that play sports, and I coached them in everything they've ever been on until they turned about, 13, 14. And, if I had $1 for every time I was sprinting out of the studio and breaking multiple laws with my car, driving like an absolute demon just to get to these games and practices, man, it's my life. And I would, I love my life, but I would give everything I have to go back and do it all over again with them when they were little boys and just beginning that journey, because it was easily the most rewarding time of my life.
Before we wrap, in a basic tease, crew, what would you say fans should look forward to with Will? He's in this romance, and watch out for Remy. Is kind of what I'm getting. But what are you getting?
Yeah. I think Will Spencer's edge is going to come out here pretty soon, and you're going to see that he's not one to mess with, especially when it comes to his loved ones.
And Joshua, what can we say for Nick on Y&R?
Nick, the bold and beautiful.
For who?
Hello, Jackie. Yeah, I don't know.
I love you, Jackie.
She's the best.
She's
Like the coolest chick I know.
The coolest chick. She rides motorcycles. She's just a boss.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I have a puppy crush on her too. She's the best.
You know that her and I try to take photos together when we go to any event, like a red carpet, and we can't get through it. We take horrible pictures together, so it's a running joke. And then we laugh and laugh and laugh. Like I laugh with her more than anybody. She's a hoot. She's a hoot. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime, man.
It was great to see you both in like the same room together. It's really, really cool. And everybody here was so excited to see you. So watch Crew on The Bold and the Beautiful. Watch Joshua on The Young and the Restless. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much.
Michael, first, before you go, was one of us better than the other in the interview, or was it?
I'm kind of feeling it was Crew, but you know.
We're gonna have a wrestling match after this. I'll let you know who wins.
Keep me posted. Let me know. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.